You had nowhere else to go, after all. Staying back at your home meant you were subject to become a top-level criminal in the country, and staying with her meant you were able to actually survive. Hold on tight, she spoke, a voice almost as soft as a whisper. We're taking off. You didn't have any time to gather exactly what she meant. You just felt the force of cold air whipping past your face. The bright night light sparkled in luminescence, beautiful blobs of starlight like blazes radiating underneath your palms as you felt her body weight press down onto one roof at 1 second and another within the next. You knew, without having to think about it, that she was so incredibly fast that the human eye wouldn't be able to detect her. You ready? She began to run vertically up a skyscraper, which, at one moment, you were sure this was going to be the end of you. But then you decided, no, it wasn't going to be. This part would, as soon as she hopped off the very top of the extremely tall building. The wind once again reminded you of its daunting, chilly presence, as you found yourself on the back of a woman who was diving feet first into a window of another very tall building. You braced yourself for the shatter of glass, although it didn't help much to ease the pain of the silver shards slightly cutting against your skin. You fell against carpet, the force that sent you against the ground coming back to give you just as much. Yeah, it hurt. Whoa, you okay? After a couple minutes of feeling woozy and lightheaded, you looked up to see her still in the place of the window where the glass was once assembled, sitting on her toes in a squat with one arm extended out in front of her to give her leverage. You wondered, how could she be scratch-free when she was the one who smashed into the window first? Although you didn't exactly respond in any way, she hopped down the small distance it took to reach the ground you were currently in a relationship, then squatted down in front of you with heels that now touched the floor. Not as much blood as I was hoping, but you'll be fine. Here, let me stitch you up with my saliva. Magically, the slight wounds on your body began to heal as she was lapping at them. Once done, she sat back to wipe her chin with her forearm, giving you a beaming smile. Whoosh! All better now. Anyways, you must be wondering where we are. Well, if you take a look around. She emphasized the last 4 words with a turn of her head around the room. We're at a hotel, and if you take a closer look. Her eyes turned red when she laid them upon the closet you inched your neck towards. This room is already occupied. In a split second, replacing the spot she once held was a man in the same position. Expression dark with fear and gloom, was a middle-aged man. His baby blue pajamas were slightly damp with nervous fit-induced sweat, and he was visibly shaking. Your neighbor planted her large platform boot on the side of his head, and you heard him release a breath that was hiding itself. Until now. Hey, old man. Are you gonna give up this room, or am I gonna have to drink you for it? Huh? He stuttered, obviously unaware with her lingo in what she meant. I'll give it up, the man exclaimed, but as you felt his weight start to shift so he could stand up, the boot pushed him down to the ground. Wrong answer. Once again, a person was going to be killed in front of you, and there wasn't anything you could do about it, because you didn't have the power to do anything about it. She turned her head to your direction. Don't worry, Pumpkin. I was never gonna suck his blood in the first place. She once again faced him. Old man blood always seems so disgusting. Instead, she pulled out a dagger from the side of her right boot. Close your eyes. You didn't obey her, instead staring directly at the movement of her hand against his neck. And in one swift movement, she pressed her palm against the back of his head and slammed him down against the ground. This way you won't have to see the blood coming out. It's a sensitive sight for humans, I know. You opened your mouth to argue, but she cut you off. Yeah, I know, I killed your mom in front of you, but that was to prove a point. Now that you've surrendered yourself to me, I'm going to make sure you stay as humane as possible. The closer you are to a human both physically and mentally, the better your blood tastes. And while we're on the topic of food, how about I go get you something to eat? I'll be right back. You couldn't even offer her some words, as she left before you could even get a syllable out. What was she even going to get for you? Did she somehow know every food you like? Maybe she was sick of you and just wanted to poison you. In what seemed like 10 minutes to you, still laying down on the ground next to a corpse, she was right back through the window once again. Oh my god, I hadn't even considered this. Her head whipped around to show you red eyes that were half full of anger and half full of concern. That old man's got a damn family with him. Of course, I should have known. Damn breeders your species are after all. Fuck, I gotta kill them. She turned her back towards you again, once again peering anxiously out of the small peephole. I wonder if they can smell him. Oh, wait, they're just human. You wait here. Either they're going to force their way in, or they're going to warn the front staff. Either way, though, I'm going to have to kill them. Hopefully they choose the first one, because if they choose... Oh, damn it. Okay, 1 second. She opened the door, popping outside only her head at the moment. The mother and her exchanged small talk, and your vampire girlfriend invited the 3 humans inside. A blonde mother with short hair walked inside slowly, and 2 younger girls followed suit. However, you knew she was a Connor, since her eyes bulged like saucers the moment they laid themselves upon the corpse you were next to. And with the next moment, you saw the same knife that killed the man make its reappearance on the woman's throat. It decorated her neck red as well. God. The vampire sighed. If only you 2 weren't forced by your mother to come along. Cleaning up the 2 adult bodies was light work for her after letting the 2 children go. She stated that she never hunted down young people because it was against her morals to do so. Huh. Who knew a half-succubus, half-vampire girl could have humane feelings? Again, you 2 were forced to relocate after having been up to no good once more. She was used to this, she said, as she was always unable to control her habits as a young vampire. Her parents were constantly having to change cities because of her. Well, would you look at that? The 2 of you were settled on top of an abandoned warehouse out in the middle of nowhere, looking up at the few amount of stars that could be seen beyond all of the light pollution. Another night where you humans are constantly screwing up the environment, so much that you can't even enjoy the very nature that led to the evolution of your species. How pathetic. Despite the fact that it would seem as if there weren't any cellular connection out where you were, she was able to keep up with the news that the mortal world was circulating around. She clicked on a video, and immediately, the strung-out voice of a hysterical woman began to describe a murderer that fit the exact description of the girl sitting next to you. I should have killed them after all. She took a glance at you. Guess we're nationwide criminals now. Should we help a few boarders?